Now, Canadian Minister Mark Carney and his Conservative rival Pierre Poilievre both have made their final pitches to voters on Sunday. In fact, the election heat at this point begins in Canada. I'm going to take you through a quick glimpse.
Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney and his Conservative rival Pierre Poilievre both made their final pitches to voters on Sunday. It was the final day of a 5-week campaign, and it ended on a somber note, with both offering condolences after a car-ramming attack in Vancouver the night before, which killed 11 people. Additionally, Carney traveled to the city later on Sunday to pay his respects near the scene of the attack. It was unknown if the attack on a crowd at a Filipino community festival would have any impact on Monday's election.
So I think Canada is going to be a very serious contender to be our 51st state.
The campaign has largely centered on U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs and threats to annex Canada. Carney has made the case that he is best placed to steer Canada through the turbulence, as he did again at an event in Saskatoon Sunday.
And America's leadership of the global economy is over. And this is a tragedy. This is still in play, but it is a tragedy. It is also our new reality. We have to recognize it.
Meanwhile, Poilievre spoke to supporters in Oakville, Ontario, with his own message of ending a decade of Liberal rule under former leader Justin Trudeau.
Who's voting for change for Canada? Who's voting for homes and food you can actually afford for a change? Who's voting for safe streets for a change? And who's voting to bring home the great Canadian promise for a change?
Poilievre has promised to reduce spending on foreign aid and axe a federal sales tax on Canadian-made autos as long as the U.S. tariffs are in place. However, pollsters say the Liberal Party holds a narrow lead in popular support ahead of final voting after Trump slapped tariffs on Canada and repeatedly referred to the once close ally as the 51st U.S. state. Trump's comments enraged Canadians and reversed a lead of some 20 points for Poilievre, whom the Liberals have compared to Trump. However, Poilievre's promises of change and his pledges to curb living costs have resonated with young men, among others, leading to large crowds at rallies. A Nanos poll on Sunday said the gap between the two front-running parties was approximately 4 percentage points, slightly wider than it had been a day earlier.